Thank you very much. And you guys do a marvelous job. So today, we want to start by recognizing that the goal of every organization is to deliver value to its customers and clients. And those last two words really aren't just tacked on there, they're probably the most important part. Whether you're a for profit, non for profit, government, I don't think that matters a hill of beans. Getting organized to effectively deliver value requires getting an understanding of the big picture rather than just focusing on any individual task or step. The understanding, I think, is delivered through wrestling with things like value streams and process flow mapping. Today, we're going to but again, the goal here is to get you to a point where you can actually use some of these ideas and to get more value out of what you do. But before we dive in, let's spend a few minutes on refreshing a little bit about the ideas in lean. So, the concept of Kaizen is near and dear to my heart, and hopefully near and dear to everyone on the call. Um, just my just a second. I'd like, so the idea of Kaizen is really important. And if we look at the House of Lean, which is a concept that been popularized over one of the central load-bearing walls, right, is Kaizen, continuous improvement. The goal is to drive out waste as just general waste, unevenness in flow, and over all of these things contribute to an idea of making and getting value directly to in customers. So mapping links, I suggest agile and lean very directly. And the idea of linking them together, you know, are a set of techniques, right? There are, very little real magic in this whole value chain and process change mapping. It's a discovery process. It unlocks information so that we can then develop knowledge. Frankly, some of what you will discover as you look at value chain mapping and even lower level process mapping might feel really harsh. Um, Once upon a time, I was working with an organization that went down and did a value stream and then found out that over 50% of the amount of effort they put into pieces of work was non-value added work. And some of it was important, like some management oversight, but in essence, 50% of what they were doing was not transforming an idea into something that a that someone is able to actually use. So the whole idea of value chain is that economic efficiency is maximized. We use the term so using two terms over and over, and I think it may be hard to understand. I use the term value stream and I use the term process maps. Those are two very different kinds of concepts. Value stream is truly just that, a major process step. It takes a broader, wider view. It begins with supplier and ends with external customers. Process maps, much more granular level of detail. Both are very visualized. So granularity is one of the extreme differences. Value stream, I would suggest, if not using it in terms of of organizing work is also a means of organizing or at least looking for different business opportunities. Process maps, that's more of a waste opportunity kind of a scenario. Again, similarities, they're both a current state, they both are visualizations of workflow. If we look at some industry definitions of these words, I'm actually going to step one level up and talk a little bit about value chain. Um, and we'll go into this in three levels of detail as we walk through here. But just to make sure that we have the words specifically on the table, a value chain was originally defined by a gentleman named Porter out of the University of Chicago. It's a much higher level view of the world. It looks at the flow of work through departments, so very broad chunks. Whereas a value stream, right, looks at sort of a activity level kind of thing. Process map down to individual tasks. So we're going to use these terms and step down through this as if it were a triangle with the ultimate goal of finding information that's relevant. Each one of these value chains, value streams, process maps answer very specific kinds of questions or are used to develop very specific pieces of information, right? Value chain high level, value stream sort of transformation steps, process maps, workflow. So those are the way I want to use these terms in the rest of it. So questions I would ask myself, are they different? So is a value chain different than a value stream? The process of focusing on value requires a number of decisions. Decisions on where you start and where you end. So when you start to think about the value stream or process map or lo and behold a value chain, you have to decide where you're going to start to wrestle with this, draw a boundary around it. That knowing those two things, where you start, where you end, will influence obviously what information that you're going to gather, what decisions you can make with that information, and hopefully what you can measure. Take too narrow a focus and end up with local process optimization, which might feel really good, but it's going to have no impact on the overall flow of work. Actually, it could actually have an impact. It could actually be negative. If you take too large of a focus, you can end up with the classic analysis paralysis kind of scenario. So, three levels. Layer one, sort of that Porter level, the system level, value chain. Layer two, go into that in more detail, the value stream mapping. That's, I think, where most of us tend to jump into this equation. And three, layer three, process mapping. Again, there's a number of different ways to wrestle with this information, wrestle with these kinds of ideas, but we're going to use some sort of common language. Chains, streams, process maps. I think of this almost as if it were a three-layer cake. Each layer can be peeled back to expose more. And if you're an addict to the Food Network, I got stuck on a TV station the other night and watched them build these cakes. Each layer can be fundamentally different. Each layer can provide fundamentally more value. By the way, unplugging the TV set finally turned that one off. So let's start peeling back those layers. So first layer is going to be this system level value chain. And and the Porter model is probably the penultimate version of this, and I'll give you some references as to where you can find information on that. But again, University of Chicago, and a relatively new concept, less than 50 years old. It's useful to identify things like product.
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also getting complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.